Number 14. Attacked by Fidel Castro's crocodile. While attending a private party at the Skansen Aquarium in Stockholm, an elderly man was savaged by a crocodile that once belonged to Fidel Castro. The victim had his arm on the wrong side of the security glass when one of the Cuban crocodiles in the enclosure bit him. The man was fortunate enough to keep his limb, but the damage was extensive. His mangled arm was heavily bandaged and he was rushed to the hospital. The crocodiles at the aquarium were gifted by Cuban President Fidel Castro to Russian cosmonaut Vladimir Shatilov in 1978, when they were very young. Shatilov is believed to have held them in his Moscow apartment until they got too big to care for. They ultimately ended up at the Swedish aquarium after a stint at the Moscow Zoo. Number 13. Cuban crocodile. The Cuban crocodile is one of the rarest and most violent croc species in the animal kingdom. There are several characteristics that set Crocodilus rhombifera apart from the others. It has long, muscular legs and is by far the most terrestrial crocodile species. Using its powerful tail, the croc can launch itself out of the water and snatch animals from hanging branches. A Cuban crocodile colony in Florida has been observed exhibiting pack behavior. This feature explains the predation of prehistoric megafauna it coexisted with, like the giant sloth. The animal is not only notoriously aggressive, but also suspected of being the most intelligent of all crocodiles. It tends to dominate other crocodilians wherever their ranges overlap. Number 12. Attack in Kalimantan. In December of 2008, a fisherman in Kalimantan on the island of Borneo was killed and eaten by a false GHARIAL. This was the first confirmed fatality attributed to this rare crocodilian species. On New Year's Eve, news of the man's disappearance started to spread and a search party was put together. Among those involved, there was a pawang, a type of shaman with the purported ability of calling crocodiles. Once the beast was hunted down, it was cut open and the fisherman's remains were found inside its stomach. Number 11. False GHARIAL. GHARIALs are crocodiles with very long and narrow snouts that primarily prey on fish. This species is one of the longest extant crocodilians, reaching up to 22 feet, which means it's about the same size as a giraffe. They tend to avoid humans and aren't generally considered to be a threat. False GHARIALs, on the other hand, have at least 3 confirmed kills. The false part of their common name is related to the shape of their snout, which broadens significantly towards the base, thus making these creatures more similar to true crocodiles than GHARIALs. This beast has a slender snout and the longest skull of any crocodilian species. The skull of one record-breaking specimen measured almost 3 feet, or about as much as the average toddler. Number 10. Alejandro Jimenez and Lisset Rendon. In the summer of 2014, Alejandro Jimenez and Lisset Rendon made the natural history books as the first people in the US to ever be attacked by the American crocodile. The couple took a late-night swim in a canal from Coral Gables, Florida, when they encountered the 12-foot reptile. A desperate struggle ensued. Fortunately, the crocodile didn't follow through on the attack, which likely would have ended in the couple being eaten. Instead, it settled for biting them, probably as an expression of territoriality. Jimenez was mauled on the hands and torso. He recovered at a hospital, while his girlfriend, who was only bitten on the shoulder, rested at home. Number 9. American crocodile. When it comes to crocodilian attacks in the Floridian wilderness, alligators are often the main culprits. That, however, is only because of their greater numbers and tolerance for freshwater and brackish environments. American crocodiles prefer the saltier waters off the coast and consequently don't have many people cross their territories. As a general rule, crocodiles are more aggressive than alligators. The American is among the larger crocodilians. Exceptional males can tip the scales at 2,000 pounds and measure 20 feet from snout to tail. That's as long as a python and twice as heavy as a horse. They're also deceptively quick in moving their weight around, as they can reach speeds of about 20 miles per hour in the water and 10 miles per hour on land. Number 8. JAVARA PARMAR. In July of 2020, a woman from the Indian district of Vadodara in the state of Gujarat was washing clothes on a riverbank. 70-year-old JAVARA PARMAR was knee-deep in water when a mugger crocodile clamped its jaws on her leg. Other villagers intervened and tried to save the woman from the jaws of death. Unfortunately, the 13-foot mugger proved too strong. Parmar was dragged underwater and drowned after an hour-long struggle. A team of crocodile catchers subsequently managed to trap the beast and transferred it to the Vadodara forest authorities. According to one of the trappers, the crocodile had been living in the river for years and had been involved in other fatal attacks. Number 7. Mugger crocodile. Mugger crocodiles are found in freshwater habitats, ranging from southern Iran to the Indian subcontinent. They have the infamous armored skin, ferocious jaws, and killer instinct that make crocodilians dreaded predators. Since they don't really overlap with saltwater crocs, muggers are only challenged by Bengal tigers and Asiatic lions. A number of fatal attacks on humans have been recorded. They usually involve the reptile dragging victims from riverbanks and drowning them, but rarely consuming them. Mugger crocodile intelligence is rather remarkable, since this creature is among the first reptiles to be recorded using tools. It will often balance branches and sticks on its head. This effectively placed birds looking for nesting material within striking distance. Number 6. CYNTHIA COVERT. South Carolina woman CYNTHIA COVERT was killed by an alligator after she was warned not to approach the beast. COVERT, who worked as a manicurist, had an appointment at a gated community called Kiowa Island. While working on the porch, she spotted the gator and headed towards it to take pictures. Her client and her husband warned COVERT to stay away and told her they'd seen the animal snatch a deer. COVERT didn't listen and the alligator attacked her as she got near it. She resurfaced from the pond in waist-deep water and said, "I guess I won't do this again." These would be her final words. Within moments, the alligator attacked again, dragged COVERT underwater and drowned her. Number 5. American alligator. The American alligator is indigenous to the southeastern United States, where it's the official state reptile for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Florida. It's an apex predator found in freshwater wetlands, such as marshes and cypress swamps. It feeds on other reptiles, fish, amphibians, birds, and mammals. In the Everglades, alligators have been observed preying on Burmese pythons, possibly even playing a role in curtailing the invasive species' expansion. The American alligator owned the strongest bite ever measured, until it was dethroned by the saltwater crocodile. Size is the distancing factor, as gators rarely go beyond 1,000 pounds, meaning they weigh about as much as a grand piano. These creatures are capable of killing humans but are considered less aggressive than other crocodilian species. Fatal attacks are fairly rare. Still, even if the bite doesn't kill its victim, it may still result in a fatal infection. Number 4. ESTEVAO Alberto GINO. In March of 2017, a Mozambican soccer player was snatched and killed by a crocodile while he was training. 19-year-old ESTEVAO Alberto GINO played for Atlético Mineiro de Tete, a club in the country's second division. He was running along a bank of the Zambezi River. At some point, he stretched his hands into the water, presumably to cool off. That's when a massive Nile crocodile bit ESTEVAO and dragged him underwater. Neighbors who witnessed the incident were powerless to stop the beast from taking the teenager. By their accounts, the crocodile was roughly 16 feet long. Number 3. Nile crocodile. The Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile are not only the largest crocodilian species but also the ones most likely to target humans, with the intention of eating them. Consequently, they're responsible for the majority of attacks and fatalities. The Nile crocodile is widely distributed throughout sub-Saharan Africa in stable numbers. They're opportunistic apex predators capable of taking any creature within their range. Large specimens have been observed killing giraffes, young elephants, and even black rhinos. This is the only creature that will take on the Cape buffalo, nicknamed the Widowmaker, on its own. Against large prey, they'll lie in wait at the water's edge before violently ambushing the victim and dragging it in the water to be drowned and dismembered. They'll tackle prey in their natural habitat but also engage in terrestrial campaigns under the cover of darkness, up to 200 feet from the water's edge. Nile crocodiles are thus capable of unpredictable attacks against a wide variety of species. Today's topic was requested by Shadow Phoenix. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Craig Dickman. Ranger Craig Dickman miraculously survived being death-rolled twice by the saltwater crocodile, the largest of all crocodilians. He was fishing alone at Cape York in Australia when the croc attacked him with bared teeth. The creature clamped its jaws on his limbs, pulled him in the water and started death-rolling. This move involves the crocodile twisting its body with the jaws locked on its victim. It's meant to break bones and separate chunks of flesh. Thinking back on the attack, Dickman said, "That noise will haunt me forever." The snap of its jaws. It was quicker than your mind can register. He added that saltwater crocs had virtually no weakness. At 9 feet, the crocodile was relatively small and only managed to peel off some of the ranger's flesh. The man dug his fingers in its snout and managed to fling it away before escaping to his car. He drove to the ranger station where he was given first aid prior to being airlifted to a hospital. Dickman was extremely fortunate. He could still use his mauled hand, and the bite in his thigh had narrowly missed his femoral artery.
Before we move on, official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. It's out of this world.
Number 1. Saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile is an uncontested apex predator and one of the most dominant beasts in the animal kingdom. Males can attain truly staggering proportions. Studies of their morphology have theorized that they're capable of growing to 23 feet while weighing roughly 4,400 pounds, or about as much as an adult black rhino. Large specimens may generate nearly 8,000 pounds of force with their bite, meaning it's close to that of the Tyrannosaurus rex. This is due to large spaces in their jaws for muscles, which are extremely stiff and almost as hard as bone. Crocodilus porosus will thus prevail against virtually any animal that enters its territory. Thanks for watching. Would you rather be death-rolled by a saltwater croc or get caught in a Cape Buffalo stampede? Let us know in the comments section below.